Good morning, warriors. Fernando here, God's prepared warrior, and welcome to Thursday. Now, I told you guys this week and next week are going to be very tough weeks for me here at work, and so that's why I haven't made any videos this week until now. So, and then as I talk in my video today, you're going to understand kind of why. Also, because there are compounding things on top of everything. So today, I want to talk to you about when everything breaks at once. All right, this is going to be a good video, I promise. So this weekend, right? You guys know, if you were with me on the live on Monday, this weekend was a huge reminder, for me, and it can be for any prepper, right? Who eventually experiences, this situation, everything breaking at once, right? So, this weekend, I told y'all that our water heater was failing, and then all of a sudden it took a dump. And I mean, it took a dump. And so while that was happening, my other truck, the one I'm usually driving, we took it to get an oil change, and the guy's like, "You have an oil leak and you have a transmission leak." And I'm like, "Oh man." So we took it to the mechanic, and it's getting fixed because it only has an oil leak. It was just really bad, I guess. And then they found a few other things, of course, like always, right, that needed to be fixed on the truck. So this week I've been on my motorcycle all week. And so today I got a reprieve and am able to use the other vehicle that we have. So, the problem always, isn't always a major disaster, right? Sometimes life, just kind of hits us with a cluster of failures, right? And sometimes all at once, right? The water heater fails, the vehicle breaks down, the unexpected bill arrives, right? And suddenly, your stability isn't threatened by society collapsing. It's threatened by Tuesday, right? Just the day, right? And so here's the truth that I want to share with all of you guys, that, most people think about, or they imagine preparedness only in the terms of, large scale crisis, the majority of hardships really truly happen in the ordinary life through breakdowns, right? Society, it doesn't have to collapse for your world to kind of feel unstable. One appliance, one vehicle, one maybe financial hit, all at the same time can, push a family into panic. And trust me, I know, because I see that a lot in my job when we help people. Preparedness begins long before emergencies, right? It begins with margin. You've heard me talk about that before, right? So what do we do when things break down? Number one is build a repair fund, right? Not just, emergency food and things like that. I mean, those things are great. Do those things. But, it's important for us to just build a repair fund, right? Maybe set some money aside for when things break down, right? Many households can, store supplies, but they can't replace a $900 appliance. And, that's what I'm talking about today, right? I think your first layer of preparedness is, financial shock absorption, right? I mean, the water heater that we purchased was not cheap. And so thank the Lord that my wife is, such a great, awesome money manager that we were able to to go purchase that new water heater so that we can get it replaced, right? Dave Ramsey talks about, having kind of like a, emergency fund, right? So I'm probably going to take his number, but if that number is too big, I would encourage you to have a goal that's achievable, right? It's always good to have a small goal that you can manage, but I would say your emergency fund should have at least $1,000 in it so that you can, repair things. Like I said, you don't have to have a whole 1,000 at once. Build, maybe you save $100 out of your check each month. Build that up, right? Save that money, because you want to be able to have this repair buffer, right? It helps, trust me. Maybe that's your starter, right? Maybe the next thing you want to do is, that's better also, is maybe have 1 month of expenses, right? Stored away so that in the event something happens, you're able to also not just repair things, but also pay your expenses, even if you lose your job, right? You have these emergency amounts set aside, right? Maybe a even stronger plan is having 3 months of expenses, available in the event that you need it, right? We as preppers, we often plan for, grid failure. We plan for lights out, and things like that, right? But I think sometimes we get defeated by a plumbing failure like I did, right? And it's just important for us to have those buffer zones. I think that's just important. The second thing is, I would say, redundancy in daily life, right? We talk about backup radios, we talk about plans, we talk about evac plans, and backup power, things like that. But do you have a backup transportation, right? Backup heating, maybe even backup water, right? A small backup water heater, water heating method, right? Maybe a camp stove, propane, maybe a propane burner, so that you can heat water in the event the water heater goes out, right? So those things are good to plan. Maybe it's a plan, for when your vehicle dies, right? How are you going to get from your home to work, and from work to back home, right? Those are important. Do you have, a basic toolkit that can help with problems on the road, right? Does your vehicle have that? It's good to build those, toolkits that can get you back on the road temporarily, so that you're just not stranded, right? Redundancy turns crisis into inconvenience, so that's important. Third, I think we should learn stabilization skills, right? You don't have to be, a contractor, trust me, because I'm not, but you should know how to kind of, slow down the damage, right? You need to know how to shut off the water lines, right? That's important. It's not just turning it off at the faucet, or where the problem is. It's how do you shut down the water to your whole house? Do you know how to do that? Do you have the tool to do that, right? Do you know how to turn off the gas to your house? That's an important one. If there's a gas leak, you need to shut that whole gas system off immediately. Do you know how to do it? And do you have the tools to do it, right? Do you know how to patch leaks temporarily? Do you know how to diagnose basic vehicle issues? These things are important for us to have in our toolkits, right? Preparedness is often about, buying time, not fixing everything all at once, right? Spiritually, what does this say for us spiritually? Moments like this reveal something important. We don't fear collapse because of chaos. We fear it because of helplessness, right? God often trains his people through daily disruptions, not to frustrate us, but to kind of, detach us from, false securities, from comfort, those kinds of things. And your peace cannot depend on everything working, because someday, somewhere, it's not going to work, right? So prepared warriors don't panic when systems fail. We adapt, we pray, we act, and we move forward steadily on this. So the takeaway for me is, major disasters, the economy collapsing, those things are rare. But, overlapping problems are guaranteed, like 100%. And if you prepare for everything, if you prepare for, everyday breakdowns, you are already training yourself for the larger things to happen, because you're going to be in a space where, this has happened before. And so I know what to do, right? Preparedness is not only surviving the end of the world. It is remaining stable when your week falls apart, right? So guys, thank you for watching this video. And I'm glad you stopped by. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I just want to, encourage you all about preparedness in so many different ways, that we can think about how to be ready. So have a great Thursday, guys. And don't forget, stay vigilant and stay prepared. And trust in the Lord. He is going to guide you each step of the way. God bless you. I'm praying for all of you. See you in the next video.